All right, everybody, we're back. Brand new Cabral Concept. I want to share with you a new show on how fasting can help you heal faster when you are sick. So whether you're dealing with a viral-based issue or something else, I want to share with you exactly what you can do and the reasons why fasting is going to help you to boost your immune system and improve your overall health. So let's get started. Let's dive into the show. Of course, no medical advice, medical diagnosis, medical treatment plans, or medical cures, but something hopefully better. Sharing with you the biology of your body, the pathophysiology of how disease takes place, and how you can heal even faster. So the first methodology as to how fasting is going to help you heal faster is by autophagy-based activation. Now, I've spent some time on this before. I've talked about autophagy before, so I won't spend a lot of time on it today. But here, we have one more example of how if your body is not taking in more and more food, proteins, fats, and carbs, what it can do is it can actually work then on breaking down old, weak blood cells and tissue in the body, and also viral-based particles. It will actually scavenge and go after pathogens that shouldn't be there in order to recycle those as fuel and also get them out of the body. And I'm going to share with you one more way in which it does that with the white blood cells in just a moment. So autophagy is our first methodology. The second is that if you're not taking in more food, then there's less oxidation in the body. There's less inflammation. There's less oxidative stress. So if we have less inflammation from the natural process of eating, what happens? Well, when there's less inflammation, the immune system is more balanced. And if the immune system has less stress on it, it can go after what? Go after the pathogens. Go after the bad guys, the viral particles that shouldn't be there, and not allow them to replicate as quickly. So when there's a virus, we need to kill the viral particles, but we also need to stop them from replicating so it can't continue to make more and more and more, right? Like we can allow it to make more, and then we just need more and more white blood cells out there to kill more and more viral particles. But if we can stop the virus quickly from replicating, which we know how to do, the immune system knows how to do it, fantastic. Then there's less of those viral particles to even break down in the first place. All right, so reducing inflammation is number 2. Number 3 is the enhanced regeneration of immune cells. I love this one. But remember, it really only kicks in around day 2 and 3 of fasting. So when you've been fasted for a certain period of time, it breaks down old and weak white blood cells. So it's removing senescent cells, it's removing old white blood cells, and when they're being pulled out of circulation and broken down, there is now a new signal to produce new, fresh white blood cells. Those white blood cells now have come out of their training grounds and are ready to attack and go after with new vigor whatever pathogens and necrotic tissue is there. So the regeneration of new white blood cells and stronger white blood cells is number 3. Number 4 is improved metabolic health. Now, when I say metabolic health, a lot of people think about weight loss and all of those things. It's actually not. It's about balancing blood sugar, hormones, and at the same time helping with inflammation. So everything is more balanced when you have a healthy metabolism. Lipid levels, hormones like the adrenal hormones or estrogen and progesterone and testosterone and DHEA. I mean, DHEA is so important for the immune system. And when we run people's labs and we see how stressed they are, we see those plummeting DHEA levels as people get older. We can't have that. We need a nice, strong, healthy body because DHEA, dihydroepiandrosterone, helps the immune system. And then, of course, there's blood sugar. We need balanced blood sugar. Well, what fasting helps us do, smart fasting, healthy fasting, helps us to re-regulate healthy levels of blood sugar. If blood sugar is more balanced, so is the immune system. So are the adrenals. So is the thyroid and much more. So the 4th way is improving overall metabolic health. The 5th way is a hormetic effect. Now it's a slight hormetic effect from fasting, but when you fast, there's a mild stress in the body. That stress in the body, as long as it's not too great, that's why there are times actually when you shouldn't fast, when you're really, really not feeling well. And the truth is that your body needs some strength. So if you are not feeling well and you need to use fasting as a way to improve your overall healing, just make sure your body is strong enough in that moment to be able to fast. And most people it will be, right? So that small stress, though, will actually better balance the immune system to fight harder. against this particular stressor. So it's a really great low-level stressor that will help with the adaptive process in the body, which can trigger the actual upregulation of improving DNA repair, as well as mitochondrial repair in the body as well. So pretty amazing. The sixth one is microbiome modulation while fasting. This is the last one I want to share with you, then I want to get into fasting. So microbiome modulation means this. When more food is not coming in, there's most likely then less of an immune system activation inside of the gut, allowing for less inflammation in the gut. And since we do know that 80% or so of your immune system and your immune cells are all around the 25, 26 feet or so of intestinal tract, we know that the immune system job then can be less focused on what's in the intestines and rather is what is outside of the entire rest of the body. So if you're watching this on video and you're looking at my buddy here, Hank, I have Hank, or technically Walter. My girls have this little model that they get to play with as well. We've just named them. And so we look at right here, okay, this is the digestive system. We've got the small intestine, we've got the large intestines. Well, that's one part of the body. It's basically from your rib cage down to your lower hips. But the rest of your body, though, is filled with potentially viral-based particles and the white blood cells that need to move through the entire lymphatic system, move through the entire body to find these pathogens, seek them out, engulf them, destroy them, remove them from the body. So if we don't have as much work being done or inflammation in the digestive system from eating, now the immune cells can go multiply and do their work elsewhere. So it's a great added benefit to not putting more food in the body. So now what type of fasting is most beneficial? Well, most people who listen to this show at least will be doing some type of 12, 14, 16-hour maybe intermittent fast. So they're stopping their eating 3 or 4 hours before bed, right, for maximum sleep benefits. And they're eating an hour or 2 hours or so after waking. So they're getting maybe 14 hours or so of intermittent fasting. So when you're not feeling well, you're probably not going to push it as much with your exercise, hopefully not, right, as well. So maybe you can conserve a little bit, start your morning a little slower, especially if you're taking the day off from work or whatever it might be. You're going to want to fast a little bit longer. What does it look like? Well, that day, it's not every day. Remember, it's not every day that we're doing this, but it might be 16 hours if you typically do 14. It might be 18 hours. It might be a full day. So when you're not feeling well and you're just resting, you can allow your body to rest and you're not going to get into fight or flight. Now you can truly begin to fast. And so you could do one meal a day when you're not feeling well and you're at home and you're resting. That is a recommendation I typically give myself. I give family members. I give people in my private practice. Now, if you're still running your regular day, maybe you can only do 16 hours that day. And that's okay. We can only do what we can do for our body, because what we can't do is put it in a greater state of stress, right? So if you're stressed and your blood sugar is dropping, that's not going to help you out at all. So a small amount of food, easy to digest, like a smoothie, will be a great thing to be able to do. But what if you want to be able to put some nutrients in your body, but you also want to get the benefits of fasting? Well, to still stay in autophagy, to still keep the microbiome low reactivity and help stay balanced blood sugar, there's a couple things that we do in our practice. Again, not medical advice, but you can just do herbal teas with a little bit of raw local wildflower honey or manuka honey. You could do your pinch of sea salt and lemon or lime for your electrolyte water. You could do 1 scoop of the daily nutritional support. It's like 50 calories, just 7 grams or so of protein, amino acids, and all your vitamins and minerals to help your body micronutrient wise. You can do that 3 or 4 times a day, just like as if you were doing the functional medicine detox on days 1 and days 2. Or you could do green juices. All of those have been shown to still keep you in a state of autophagy. It's all liquid, right? So it's just liquid. So it's very easy to digest, but it's giving your body some energy to be able to fight with while still keeping blood sugar levels balanced. Now, again, I know you're saying, well, the manuka honey is going to spike blood sugar. 3 to 6 grams of glucose, that's all that it is. 1 teaspoon maximum. That's all you're looking at. So we're not talking about a tablespoon of honey or pouring in half the container. I'm talking about a little bit in not boiling water because you don't want to destroy the properties of the honey, but warm water. and just sipping on that. So these are all great ways to still balance inflammation, still work with the fasting protocol of the body, and then you can actually get some nutrition in your body. So you got a few things at your disposal. Increase your fast for the day. Maybe just do one meal at dinner, very light, very easy to digest earlier in the night. Liquid bone broth, or it might be chicken soup, or something just, again, smoothies, easy to digest. Maybe it's an acai bowl. Okay, simple, get a good night's sleep, because you don't need to do this for really more than 2 or 3 days to get that body kicking into high gear. The next one might be you do 4 shakes a day, right? So it's just liquid nutrition all day. Okay, gonna get the blood sugar a little higher, but you can do that. Or you just say, no, I'm just gonna do the daily nutritional support. Very little calories in terms of macros, but a lot of micros to help your body fight. And you might do herbal teas at the same time. A lot of people do that in our practice. The last one is you say, well, I really want to get all the nutrition from a lot of plants, from a lot of plant-based food, no fruits in it, but green juices I'm going to do throughout the day to stay hydrated. Either way, you need to keep your hydration levels up. So if you're sweating, if you have a fever, throw all the 8 to 10 glasses of water out the window. You're going to need most likely more than that, and you're going to have to add back in some of those electrolytes. So a pinch of sea salt, little lemon, little lime, whatever it might be, or your favorite electrolytes, add those back in. Daily nutritional support already has the electrolytes. Your green juices probably already have all the electrolytes, so you're going to be good to go there. But keep your hydration high, keep your meals easy to digest, and allow the power of intermittent fasting and multiple day fasting to boost your immune system and do what your body already knows what to do and how to do it, and that's heal. Hopefully today's show was helpful. For all the details, the 3 big takeaways, head on over to stephencabral.com/3050. And of course, share the show with anyone you believe it could serve. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing day, and I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new Cabral Concept. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.